4-6, and then afterwards they pretty much have to win out to be in a good spot, especially in the NFC, to have a decent chance of making the playoffs. So it's looking pretty tough right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm being honest. But moving on from them here for a quick second, looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, Juju is really the only one not playing tonight. Hopkins should be out there, and I expect that connection with Mahomes to be a little bit better. But this Chiefs team, there's not really much to report on them other than the fact, like we mentioned before, that Patrick Mahomes, despite them being 7-0, isn't really playing his best ball up until this year or up to his standards, quite honestly. He actually has more interceptions than touchdown passes, which is insane to believe. And them still being 7-0, I think it's just a testament to the great job they just do as an organization and as a team to be more than just Patrick Mahomes. Because it's quite easy to just really depend on Patrick and just expect to be good. Because Patrick has been just very good, the best over the last few years, and to just depend on that and just have Patrick bail you out. No, like this organization has really been adamant, proactive about the fact of making the team around Patrick very good as well. And for any situation to when Patrick could be in a slump like he is this year, it doesn't really matter, which is so demoralizing for the rest of the NFL, honestly, because of the fact of how it all is playing out and everything like that. When you have Patrick at his worst, they're still undefeated, which is insane to even think about. But on that note about Patrick Mahomes, he could become the fastest player, or he did become actually the fastest player in NFL history last week to throw for 30,000 yards in last week's victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, there could be more history made tonight because Travis Kelce is only one touchdown reception away from passing Tony Gonzalez for the most touchdown receptions in Kansas City franchise history. So, that is something to look out for tonight for Travis Kelce. He could make some more history tonight, and that is something, to watch out for any of you guys, maybe looking to put some money on this game. That could be something that could interest you. But moving on here to the matchups that I am interested in watching in tonight's game, we're gonna have George Karlaftis and Josh Uche going up against Tristan Wirfs and the other tackle for the Buccaneers, Goedeke, their other tackle. Wirfs and Goedeke against Karlaftis and Josh Uche is going to be huge because Baker Mayfield has been sacked 20 times this year, but Kansas City, on the other hand, has only had 15 sacks so far. So that's obviously why they brought in Josh Uche to kind of uptick those numbers and bring more of a pass rush, not necessarily having to blitz and have your best chance of getting sacks. They want to get home with 4 guys, and obviously you have Chris Jones there. George Karlaftis has been a very good addition, very underrated piece to their defensive line, but adding a guy like Josh Uche now could spread out the protection even more. Maybe you don't have as many double teams or even triple teams on Chris Jones. He could impact the game even more. So having guys like Wirfs and Goedeke on the other side and how successful they're going to be in maybe one-on-one matchups against these guys is going to be huge in determining how good this offense is going to be without being set back with sacks after sack after sack, right? So that is something to watch out for there. Also, Rachaad White and Bucky Irving going up against the Kansas City Chiefs' second-ranked run defense, second-ranked in the NFL, might I add. This Kansas City Chiefs team does not allow much in the running game. And also the lack of wide receivers, now that we know that Jalen McMillan is out, it is something to watch out for to see if the Bucs can at least get something from this running game. Because, the matchup doesn't stack up very well. The Bucs don't really run it too efficiently anyway, and they're going up against one of the best units against the run. So the matchup is very heavily in the Chiefs' favor. But, this situation for the Bucs, they need to get something out of them because the wide receivers are not necessarily there. So working with that is going to be something that they try to do. Also, something else to watch out for here are the turnovers. Obviously, it's not a matchup or anything like that, but the turnover battle will be huge because the Buccaneers have 12 giveaways to Kansas City's 11. But Tampa Bay especially need to win this battle. If they're going to surprise anybody, they're going to need to get turnovers. And Patrick hasn't been, completely obsolete from turning the ball over. I just mentioned he had more interceptions than touchdown passes this year. So because of that, if the Bucs could somehow create more of an advantage that way and get some turnovers, it'll give them a better chance, because everywhere else, because of the injuries and things like that, it's not stacking up very much in their favor. So if they could do that, that could swing momentum around, and then the game could get a little bit dicey from there. But despite all of that, I think it's just wishful thinking on my part, because I'm still going to take Kansas City to win. I think it's just too much. It's too much to ask for a team to overcome Chris Godwin and the pace that he was on this year, Mike Evans, and how, legendary he is just as a wide receiver. It's too much to ask for the Buccaneers, especially on the road. It would have been a tough task with everybody healthy. So with those guys being out, I'm going to take Kansas City to win. Tampa Bay's defense also hasn't been great. They've given up 31 points per game in their last 3 games. So the way that Kansas City runs the ball also, and how important that part of their team has become, I don't love that matchup either for the Buccaneers. And I don't know if Tampa Bay can run the ball efficiently either. So there's too many doubts. There's too much wishful thinking for the Bucs to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They're going to go to 8-0 and continue their dominant run in this game. So hopefully it's still a close game. I don't want to see a blowout or anything like that, but I am taking the Chiefs to win. And with that being the case, that'll wrap up today's show. Thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the GSMC Chip Shot Football Podcast, and following the network on all forms of social media. A quick notice here for you guys. There will not be a show tomorrow because of the elections going on over here in the United States. If you're anywhere else but the United States and you weren't aware of that, so there's not going to be a show tomorrow. I'll be back on Wednesday to do the live show. So just to put that out there for you guys to know about that, so you're not on here wondering where the show is. But like always, check out more of the show before you click off on both YouTube channels to catch more NFL coverage in a variety of different ways. And also, to catch more of the live shows other than tomorrow, tune in every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more NFL coverage, stories, debates, discussions, everything you'd want to see around the NFL, here with me, Manny Mardiaga, as your host. Thanking you for joining me, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, to talk about Monday Night Football and the rest of the Week 9 recaps.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't